Keith Taylor, Green MEP for the South East. Why is it that you've launched petitions both in Oxfordshire and elsewhere against fracking?
Because all over the South East region, people are hearing about fracking and thinking, oh no, this is not a good idea. I must do something to mark my protest and my concerns.
And I understand that in the petitions that you've launched, you've already had hundreds of people signing up. What do you think that shows about the public's appetite for fracking?
Well, I think the public's appetite for fracking is tempered by, frankly, they're not really aware of what fracking is all about. And really the petitions and the work I've been doing is all about spreading information, explaining the risks and telling people my experiences when I went somewhere that fracking has really been commercially exploited in America.
That's right, because I understand you yourself have been to see some of these sites. So what kind of site is there to see in the USA that makes you fearful about fracking coming to the southeast of England?
Well, I was in one small part of Pennsylvania, Susquehanna County, and there are 1,400 licenses for drilling wells. Now, if I applied the same ratio of wells to square kilometres, and I took Sussex, for instance, there would be 2,485 wells. Now, that is just one county alone, and that's not something I want to see the southeast region covered with wells.
Returning to the kind of Oxfordshire, Buckinghamshire part of your constituency, I understand between Bicester and Banbury there's a huge site which could potentially have fracking take place there. Just returning to basics, what are your actual real concerns about fracking?
In basics, I'm concerned that it's a fossil fuel. Extracting another fossil fuel, especially with the associated methane gas escapes, is going to make climate change worse. My main concerns is around water resources. The southeast is a water-stressed area. We don't have the water resources to support the enormous appetite that fracking wells actually have. And water pollution. I've seen houses and households in Pennsylvania where they can't use their drinking water. I've seen houses there that the gas companies are actually supplying drinking and washing water separately. Yet the fracking companies in America say it's nothing to do with them. Oh yeah, pull the other one is what I say. It's a real risk. People have to understand what the risks are, and this petition is one way they can express their concerns.
Now, I understand that your Green counterpart on Oxfordshire County Council, Councillor David Williams, is going to present his concerns that he shares, as you do, about fracking at a council meeting. What kind of response would you like to see Oxfordshire County Council present?
I'd like to see Oxfordshire County Council following the examples of other councils and declaring Oxfordshire a frack-free zone.
Do you see a chance of that happening, or do you think that they are interested in exploring shale gas?
Well, I mean, that's for Oxfordshire County Council to determine. I think what the people of Oxfordshire need to do is inform themselves, is to protest and take direct action. We should be under no illusion the Conservative and Lib Dem government is hell-bent on fracking at any costs. They want the UK to be a world leader in shale gas and hang the consequences. That is not on.
Just finally, I'd like to ask you about the European dimension, because you, as an MEP, are out here in Brussels and Strasbourg, and this is an issue that you've raised several times out here. So what are you doing at a European level to raise shale gas, to raise fracking?
Well, working alongside my Green Party colleagues here, we managed to secure an agreement of the whole Parliament in a revision of the Environmental Impact Directive. And the Parliament position now is to call for a mandatory environmental impact assessment on all exploration and exploitation fracking operations, and also for baseline measurements to be taken before any operations start. And apart from that, we're working alongside members in other parties and saying, look, we've got to have some common rulings to govern the whole of Europe, because you can't have France banning fracking while the English are actually encouraging it and giving tax breaks. They can't both be right. And I don't think the French love their countryside any less than the British. And so I think one message I've been delivering to campaigners is maybe we've got to act more French